everybody ready for the Super Bowl? I don't even know who's playing. I'm ready for a halftime show. Yeah. Mike and I, Mike and I were planning like Valentine's Day dinner Sunday, and then we're like, oh, but don't we want to get wings? Talk about Super Bowl. It's fine. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get started. Good morning. Welcome to our February 2022 graduation ceremony at the Miller Family Campus. For those of you who are watching online, because I'm sure everybody knows who I am here, my name is Kim Doyle, and I'm a senior instructor here at the Northeast region. Our executive director, Deborah Doherty, who normally opens our ceremonies, was unable to attend today, but she sends her regards and also wants to graduate all of our puppy raisers and teams that are graduating today. Right now, I just want to call up one of those puppy raisers to the podium, who was the puppy raiser for the graduating dog Yokin. I would like to call her up to share her thoughts of how she opened up her heart for a canine companion's puppy for the first 18 months of his life. Please welcome Tori Junkins. Yokin, down. Lay down.
Thanks, Kim. Thank you, Kim. Can we hear me? Hello?
Yeah, it's just, you can just talk
loudly. Oh, can I just talk loudly? Okay, perfect. Thank you, Kim. So my name's Tori Junkins. I'm a puppy raiser from Northern Virginia. I'm here with my husband, Raymond, today. And many of you may already know me as the daughter of Jackie, of Capital Chapter Infamy, down in the DC area. Our family started raising dogs for canine companions back in 2009, and we've collectively just welcomed our 15th pup. He got in just 2 weeks ago. He's a little black lab named Locke, and he's really cute, which is good because he has yet to sleep longer than 3 hours at a time, but we're making progress. So then in 2018, Raymond and I decided we would like to raise some dogs on our own. We'd been helping my mom for years. And so we got our first canine companions puppy, with a little golden retriever named Zeno. Zeno was ultimately released for low emotional control. He was a little too golden for a real job, but my mom has turned him into a wonderful therapy dog now. He works with the Red Cross trauma team, and he also is working with veterans at an area hospital. So even when they don't make it as grads, they have wonderful jobs. We're still sharing him. But we really wanted a grad of our own, so we got our second puppy, Yokin, and who's graduating here today. He is a very special puppy with a very unusual name, Yokin. And I know, everyone says it's unusual. He was named after NER board member Yvonne Dagger's sister, Yolanda. They were identical twins. Yolanda unfortunately passed away in October of 2019 from a long battle with cancer. Yolanda loved canine companions. They were very close to her heart. And her love for the organization and the wonderful things that Canine Companions does prompted the Dagger family to raise money to name a puppy in her memory. Yolanda's husband, Ken, often called her Yo. That was her nickname. So they felt that Yo would be a great name for a puppy. But then they thought it fitting to also add Ken to it. So Yo Ken is their couple name, like Bradgelina. And so then Yokin was born into the Canine Companions family. And I came and picked up Yokin on February 14th, 2020, almost exactly 2 years ago, and 1 month before the whole world shut down. So I was very thankful to have a puppy to keep me busy through what was a very scary and uncertain time for everyone, especially a puppy as smart and feisty as Yokin. I'll never forget when my 10-week-old puppy squeezed through the stair railing to snatch a treat container off the top of his kennel. This was, of course, on my husband's watch. But he is a smart one, let me tell you. He will also fetch anything you throw. He'll bring you back. You can throw one toy, he'll come back with 3. And never, ever get tired. But like all puppy raisers in the pandemic, I had to get creative to make sure I could socialize Jochen safely and effectively when everyone was social distancing and staying home. Luckily, I lived in an urban area at the time, so every day we would take long walks through our empty metro station, through parking garages, across pedestrian bridges and tunnels. We'd sit outside Walmart and listen to people argue because there were no groceries and no toilet paper. We were together every second of every day, Jochen and I, working on commands and experiencing everything that we could safely. But I still really worried that my fast-growing puppy had never gone shopping. He'd never been to a restaurant. He'd never been to a movie theater or an office building. Later that year, we moved from the city to a farm in the country, so Jochen got to experience livestock, farm equipment, and 10 acres of fenced pasture to run. I will say he has a wonderful recall. But I still worried that he was behind in his development, since he had experienced so little at that point, I thought. But as it turns out, I didn't have much to worry about. As the world started to open back up, Jochen and I embraced the ability to be able to finally go places, wearing a mask. So we had to learn how to give commands and eye contact even with a mask on. We ate out, we went to the movies, we even managed to get on an airplane. We flew to Florida to see my sister. And Jochen took it all in stride. I was so impressed every step of the way that he just was calm and collected and just interested in the world around him, but he acted like he'd done this his whole life. So when August 2021 came around, I knew he was more than ready for the next part of his journey. I'm thrilled but not surprised to be here today for his graduation as a service dog. John and Jochen are another perfect match, a testament to the experience and caliber of the dogs that Canine Companions produces. I'm honored to have raised this dog for such a wonderful organization and in loving memory of Yolanda. I cannot wait to hear about all of the adventures that John and Jochen have together for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Tori. For the past 10 days, my coworkers, Alexis, Kristen, and I have had the pleasure of teaching these 6 individuals who will shortly be our newest graduates of Canine Companions for Independence. Please enjoy this slideshow that will introduce the graduates and give you a glimpse of what they've accomplished during their time here.
Fetch. Encourage back. Come on. Yeah. Yep. light. One, light. There you go, good boy. Yes.
Very nice, Diana.
Sit.
You could just go straight for that light. He doesn't have to
Light.
sit.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Yes. Good boy.
These past 2 weeks have definitely flown by. We were just talking about that this morning. These teams have stepped out of their comfort zones, tried new things, and weren't afraid to embarrass themselves in front of fellow students. This has truly been a great class to teach, guys. Everyone was so supportive of each other, and like we found out a little bit earlier, even all got together for a big pizza party last night to just hang out with one another. It has been a great pleasure watching all of these teams grow. I would like to just take a moment to recognize apprentice instructor Kristen Fitzpatrick. Kristen, would you mind standing up? Kristen has spent the last 6 months training her first string of dogs and teaching her first STEAM training as the requirements of an apprentice instructor 1. We are so proud of the accomplishments she has made and the amount she has grown in a trainer. We are excited for her next step in her journey as an apprentice too. Congratulations, Kristen. Before they receive their graduation certificates, I'd like to invite up our class speaker. From day one, you can come on up. From day one, John has had such a positive attitude and really connected with his new buddy right away. As a sports podcaster, it was only fitting for him to be placed with a dog that also agrees ball is life. Please welcome John McAlevey. McAlevey. Oh my goodness. I should know that by now. I have your speech right up here.
Thank you, Kim. Good afternoon, everyone. First, I'd like to apologize for some of those photos of me. I didn't realize that bald spot on my head has gotten as big as it has, but such is life, right? First, let me introduce myself. My name is John McAlevey, and I live in New Providence, New Jersey. 30 years ago, this August 19, following a fall down a flight of steps in my house, I suffered a spinal cord injury. In my first week as an inpatient at Kessler Institute for Rehabilitation back in Jersey, one of my occupational therapists told me, "Hey, John, you should really look into getting a service dog because with your limited use of upper body function, a four-legged friend would really suit you fine." Well, that was 1992, and ever the procrastinator, I waited until 2017 to finally make that call and get the ball rolling here at Canine Companions. But as they say, better late than never. When I was offered a spot, when Katie O'Loughlin called me and offered me a spot in team training, I found out it was a 2-week trial, and I thought, I wasn't so sure I could do that. Being away from routines and creature comforts of home are not the easiest thing for those of us in the disabled community, at least not this guy. But I'm glad that I went for it. And while there have been some challenging moments, it really has been everything that I could have ever asked for and more. Room, our TAs, Matt Lindblad is here with his father, Stephen, for their second dog. And he's been an unbelievably and supportive man. He's also kept us well fed with his cookies and donuts. Matt Montalbano, who's receiving his second dog, is here with his sister Christina, who is also a puppy raiser herself. And speaking of supportive fathers, Dan Murray is his son Matt's right-hand man. I've had a great time talking sports with them, and they've done terrific. And also David Kramer is here with his wife Diane, and he's been an amazing advocate for their second dog as well. As for me, I arrived with my nephew Charlie and my sister Susan, who are here in the front row with us. And in between, I've had some of the best childhood friends a guy could ever ask for fill in the void. So, how will a service dog help me? First and foremost, as someone with very limited to little use of my arms, hands, and fingers, my new friend will, in a sense, become them for me. Picking things up off the floor will be a giant help. Turning lights on and off sounds so easy, doesn't it? Unfortunately, sometimes it is anything but for me. So assistance with that will be allowed, even encouraged. And other than that, another way I think that a dog will help me out is at work. I am the peer counseling coordinator at Kessler now, and in so much it is my job to match newly injured patients with folks who have been living with their disability in the community for many years. I can't think of a better way to break the ice with someone just coming to grips with a life altering injury than to enter the room with this amazing canine companion service dog. Jochen will undoubtedly put them at ease and help us begin a dialogue. And speaking of Jochen, I don't necessarily have any funny stories to share just yet, as we're both still trying to get to know each other. But we do share a love of sports, as Tori mentioned. Jochen will chase any and every ball thrown his way, and I played three sports in high school. So far, my favorite trait of his has to be his patience. As the trainers and my fellow trainees will attest, I would struggle reaching into my kibble bag to reward him with a treat when he did something well, oftentimes putting my hand in and pulling out nothing. So much so that I think we all celebrated a birthday at one time. It took so long. However, through it all, my new friend never wavered. He just sat patiently looking up at me like a perfect little gentleman, which was not only endearing, but it was very much appreciated. I want to thank everyone here working behind the scenes, especially Jessica, Katie, Sue, and Bonnie, to our world class trainers, Kim, Alexis, Kristen, Haley, and LA. Thank you for being so knowledgeable, approachable, and supportive of us all. And to my fellow graduates, congratulations to you and your families. I hope we will remain in touch. In closing, I know that a canine companion's motto is give a dog a job, and that they certainly do. But I found out it is so much more than that. This organization and their amazing dogs, both literally and figuratively, open doors for folks like us to live easier and more fulfilling lives. Thank you. Should I just leave it here? Okay. Should I stay here?
Funny story. So when we introduced Fetch on like what the second day,
Yeah.
Jochen wouldn't fetch the toy. I don't know what was going on. He was just like, couldn't possibly. I have to stay with John.
Yes.
We've learned that he definitely has that fetch drive now, huh?
He sure does. Absolutely.
All right. So thank you so much, John, for those
Okay.
wonderful words.
Okay.
You're going to stay up here to receive your dog.
Sure.
But first, I would like to invite up apprentice instructor Kristen Fitzpatrick to help hand out certificates. John is graduating today with service dog Jochen the First. Jochen was named in honor of Yolanda and Ken Richards. Jochen was raised by Tori and Raymond Junkins from Percival, Virginia. Jochen was their second puppy they have raised. You can come right over here. They're going to hand you the leash. Next, I'd like to invite up successor Matt Lindblad, or Matt 2 or 3, to the stage. Matt is graduating today with service dog Boylan II. Boylan was raised by the Gagan family from Highland, Maryland. Boylan was their sixth puppy. Next, I would like to ask successor Diane Kramer to come on up. Diane is graduating with successor service dog Trilby the First. Trilby was raised by Richard and Jan Mantone and family from Daniel Island, South Carolina. Trilby is the first puppy that they have raised. Next, I'd like to invite up successor Matt Montalbano up to the stage. Or Matt 2, Matt 1. We invited a lot of Matts to class this time around, guys. Matt is graduating today with service dog Robo the First. Robo was raised by Mark and Mary Ellen Robillard from Cornwall on the Hudson, New York. Robo was the fourth puppy they have raised. Next, I'd like to invite up Nick Compitello up to the front. Nick is graduating today with service dog Steele II. Steele was raised by Katie and Bryce Percy of Dallas, Texas. Steele was their first puppy. Congratulations, guys. And last but not least, Matt number 1. Successor Matt Murray. Matt has been placed with service dog Yancey the Fourth. Yancey was raised by the Gary family of Centerville, Virginia. Yancey was the first puppy they have raised. Let's give a round of applause for all of our graduating students. Thank you so much for joining us online and coming here today. We really appreciate all of you guys. And I hope everybody has a great weekend, Super Bowl or Valentine's Day, and have a safe trip home. Release.